Hello, Wilson. I talk with something to Cysylltiedig. It's Wills here again for them Sgwrs service. Hope you're all keeping well and keeping safe. I'm going to start the session the same way as we start every session with a quick house rule. So these sessions are, it's about staying safe, isn't it? We operate in the same way as we do most of our youth sessions ordinarily outside the lockdown, that would be, of course. So it's about respecting each other, respecting the platform. No silly comments, no nastiness, and no bad vibes, and no bad language. We all know about the bad language. Oh, hi, Morgan. Hi, Tim. How's it going? Oh, excuse me. And it's also about staying safe, isn't it? I know I keep saying this, but it's really, really important. We're on this online space here. It's about keeping ourselves safe in an online space. So no sharing too much personal information. So nothing about where you live or your street name or address, or I just said address, date of birth, dog's name, anything like identifiable features by yourself. We don't want to know. And if you want to mention anybody else in the comment section, please have that same level of respect for them, if you could, please, as well. So don't tell us too much about their addresses and those kinds of things. Not in y Gymraeg hefyd, so mae sesiwn rhaid gyda'r ddwyieithog, mae'n groeso i chi gyrru'r sy'n yn y Gymraeg neu yn Saesneg. Na'i gyfieithu nhw a tell them dod allan, so pawb yn medru cymryd rhan. So the sessions are bilingual, please do send us your messages in either Welsh or English. I'll translate them, send it back so everybody can take part. So, the session today, who have we got? I've already said hello to Morgan and Gemma, but I'll say hello to Morgan and Gemma again. Hi guys, how's it going? Charlotte's in the house. Hi, Charlotte. Happy birthday for the other day to Charlotte as well. Everyone's happy this, Charlotte. The other day that was, of course. Mia. I should have said Mia sent us some fantastic pictures in the other day. It is Mia, just checking. Are you the same Mia who sent us in the pictures of the amazing things that you've been baking from home? If that is the case, then please give us a thumbs up so I know it was you. Because I should have showed that picture again on the baking thing yesterday. It is you. I knew it was you. They looked delicious, Mia. Good job. Oh, we've got Cardiff Youth Service in the house. Gwaith amazing. Byddai'n gres trafod y gwaith ieuenctid. Oh, fantastic. Cardiff Youth Services in the house. Very, very good. Nice to see you guys. Who else do we have? Oh, diolch, Will, says Charlotte, because it was Charlotte's birthday the other day. We won't give away her age, but she's looking great. Right. What are we doing today? Right, as I said to you earlier, we are on session 49 now, and we are doing our usual Tuesday tea and chat thing. So the most important thing about today's session is, have you all got your cups of tea ready? Give me a thumbs up if you have. And I know some of you like to go for blackcurrant, orange squash. Claire, if she's on, she has a completely different mindset with these things, but I like a nice traditional cup of tea in my special mug. So if you've got your tea ready to chat, crack on. What I should say, for those of you who are new, no, I haven't, says Gemma. Gemma, well, you've got 2 minutes while I give my blurb. Go and get something to drink. You need to get a drink and settle down. What I usually do, this is why we do Tea Tuesdays, in my usual open access session, so youth clubs and what have you, we sometimes have like decompression sessions where we go off into a corner, we drag some bean bags, and we have a nice cup of tea or a hot chocolate, and we have and we have biscuits or whatever. And then we throw some topics, things to discuss, things to debate. And we've had some really, really great chats now. And we've been repeating or replicating those sessions, as I say, on here. And we've had some really good discussions. So those of you who have been watching for a while will remember we had the really interesting debate on social media and whether people are going too far and what is too far. So that was a good one. We did a thing about the global issue of racism last week. We've done the voting age being lowered. That's been great stuff. So today, I thought, all that stuff has been great, but it was a little bit heavy. It was a little bit heavy, I thought. So I thought today we'd do something a little bit more fun, really. Well, a little bit fun, a little bit lighter topic, should I say. So this is what we're going to look at today. Oh, look, there's my logo again. Oh, I know Charlotte likes the logo. Oh, we're a bit off today. I have a banana milkshake, says Gemma. Oh, perfect. Exactly, that's all you need. Right, okay, so what are we going to do today? We're going to do this concept of new normal, right? You might have heard that phrase being bandied around quite a lot lately. People talking about, the new normal. And it got me thinking, yeah, new normal. It's a weird thing, isn't it? So we're all having to now adjust to this new normal thing. But what is the new normal? The sense I'm getting from it at the moment, and keep with me. The new is this concept of a new digital revolution. Now, I know the digital revolution has been around for a while, a lot longer than most of us on here care to remember. But what I mean is this concept of people having to adapt what they're doing now to be more digital. I'll give you examples just so we jog your memory. Youth services, youth services have been dragged kicking and screaming into this new digital revolution, having to deliver sessions like this and adapt their provisions. Schools are the same. A lot of online learning needs to take place now. Universities are doing a lot of online stuff. Loads of other organizations. This kind of emergence in Zoom. I don't think many people had even heard of Zoom prior March the 20th. Now, it doesn't look like you can have a Sunday dinner without it being on a Zoom call. And I was just really, really interested to know, from your perspective, what are the good points about this new way that everybody's working? What are the bad things and what are the frustrating things? So the good, the bad, the frustrating. So why don't we start Positive Tea Tuesday with good? What's been good about the emergence of all this new technology into our lives and all these new ways of working? So I'll throw it out to you, young people and youth workers who are on here as well. What has been good? Zoom is annoying to set up. Hey, Gemma, hold on. That comes under frustrating and bad. We're talking about good here. Let's start with good. Although, I agree with you, it has been frustrating, and members of the Youth Council, of which Gemma is one, will know that it has been a little bit frustrating at times. But what's been good about this? About people having to adapt the way. So, obviously, let's start with good. I'll get carried away otherwise. What's been good? You tell me, what have you found that's been beneficial to you? You don't have to say these sessions. This is not a consultation, not a questionnaire. But, you tell me, what's been good about this digital way of working? People becoming more digitally aware. Well, I don't want to give you too many. I don't want to give the answers away. It's your time to talk. So come on, where are you, young people? You're never shy usually. We usually get hot debates. Youth workers, you're the same. What's been good about this new way of working? What's been good about the digital re-emergence? Oh, here we go. You find out information easier and it's easier to communicate your thoughts. Oh, that's interesting. That's a comment from Gemma. You find out information easier and it's easier to communicate your thoughts. Is it because you feel a sense? Well, why is that? Look, actually, you tell me, Gemma. Why is it easier to communicate your thoughts when you're typing them out rather than being able to verbalize them or sit? You tell me. Interesting to hear. Sarah says it's brought lots of people closer together. Oh, now there is an interesting concept because we are currently going through, and this is what got me thinking. Thanks, Sarah, for bringing that up. It's a really, really good comment. That's what got me thinking. We're going through a period of social distancing, right? And we've mentioned this on the sessions a few times, that social distancing, it's more like it's physical distancing, isn't it? Not social distancing. And it got me thinking, I've communicated more during this time using Zoom and video calling and messages and stuff with my friends than I would have done ordinarily. So it's brought my little community and my little friendship circle closer together, because we've exploited and used these technologies that are at hand and being used by everybody more than we would have done before. I would have gone months without seeing one of my friends, and I've spoken to him 3 times this week. So interesting that it's bringing people closer together is a good point. I like that. I am Sarah. What else have we got? Because if you know me, this is Gemma again. So Gemma was saying that she finds it easier to communicate her thoughts through these things. Because if you know me, I can never find the words. So when you're typing, it's easier, so you can give a more considered response. Is that what you mean? Interesting. Charlotte. I said it, I agree. I feel much closer to my family. Yeah, I know. So loads of people having like virtual Sunday lunches and all this kind of stuff. So weird, isn't it, that this kind of social distancing has actually brought people socially more connected via screens. Interesting. We have so many stuff at the start of June. Birthday son. How about this next one then? The bad. What have been the bad points? So we've touched on the good points, that sense that you get more time to write your response, a more considered response. We talked about how it can actually bring people and kind of force people more together. Yeah, that's a really interesting point. What have been the bad things? What are people missing out on because of all this? That's an interesting one. Yeah, well, take the Zoom meeting you joined, for example. Well, yeah, the Zoom meeting was a little bit of a bad example to begin with, wasn't it, Jem? But we will have ironed that out. But what are the bad things? What are people missing out on? The more people have had to rely on digital communication. So I don't want to throw the obvious ones out there. I'll let you point them out, but we'll get to those in a minute. So what have been the bad points of this digital way of being? Any thoughts? While I drink my tea again and ponder my own thoughts. So the bad elements, so just to reiterate, the bad elements of having to rely on people only using digital means of communication. Meeting up in person. Well, Gemma, straight in there. Meeting up in person. Well, yeah, of course, yeah. But what is it about that you're missing? That's the thing. How does this not replace that? I mean, you can see me if we were on a video call. In fact, I do have a video call with Gemma once a week. So we see each other's faces. We can communicate with each other in that sense. As in not being able to. Yeah, I got that. I feel like there's too much screen time, says Sarah. Well, there are pros and cons, isn't it? Prior to the lockdown, we were all very conscious about how much time we're using, how much screen time we're on, and we were making sure that we were limiting it to certain times. Now it seems it's just carte blanche and let people run wild and make all these connections and, oh yeah, use Zoom, use WhatsApp, use this. So yeah, that's another interesting point. Maybe people getting too reliant on it post this lockdown. Will people be able to shift their mindsets out of it back to get those personal connections? Is that something that we're worried about? I don't know, you tell me. As we are thinking about that, why don't we move on to the frustrating then? What's been frustrating about it? I know bad and frustrating sounds like a similar thing here. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait. However, as we pointed out in the beginning, some of the frustrating things that we could potentially discuss is people not being able to use the technology properly. And that's been a bit of a barrier, isn't it? So yeah, frustrating, I'm talking about barriers to this way of working. So while the whole world is going, okay, we can't do this, so let's all just jump online. What do you think could be the frustrating thing for young people? And let's think about Denbighshire specific here as well. Rural communities and all this type of thing that we've got in Denbighshire. What could be frustrating for people, do we think? Zoom meetings are annoying to set up, especially when you're hosting it. Yeah, so Zoom meetings can be annoying to set up, especially when you're hosting it. Well, it's a new frontier for everybody, isn't it, Gemma? So people are trying to figure all this stuff out. In fact, even as a youth service, it took us quite a while. Well, I say quite a while. It took me a few days to figure out how to do this, how to get everything to look right, work right, to stream right, get the buffering sorted out. And you may remember the first few sessions we ran here, I was like a robot in the buffering section. We finally got it sorted out. Sarah says, not being able to do things that we used to do, going to theatre, days out, well, of course. So those are the experiences that cannot be replaced. I would not want to be attending a gig, for instance, like this, sitting in my house watching on a screen just wouldn't be as fun, would it? So yeah, those are the frustrating and annoying things. That some things that can be adapted. I mean, this virtual youth club that we have created, in a sense, has been able to be adapted digitally. The negative sides of that is that there's no pool table here, so we can't, there's pros and cons. Having said that, that means that there's just one more opportunity where I don't have to beat Mikey and Paul. So, pros and cons for him, yeah. Oh, Ali's in the house. Hi, sorry I'm late. Very, very late. Hey, Ali, don't worry about it. We know you'll have something really, really sensible to say, just as everybody else has. We're talking, Ali, about the digital world that we've been thrust into, and the good things about that, the bad things about that, and what we found most frustrating about everybody having to adapt to digital. So whether that be youth clubs, schools, universities, families have adapted to the digital world, and what's been the good, the bad, and the frustrating elements of that. That's what we're talking about, Ali. So if you want to think about that and jump in, let me know. Wi-Fi not working. Well, there you go. That's a good point there from Kelly. We've had a few issues. In fact, we had an issue on Friday, Wi-Fi not working. On our 48th session, poof, Wi-Fi goes. So yeah, that's been an issue, and an issue for lots of rural communities actually is poor Wi-Fi connection. I know things are getting better, but a lot of people we know are messaging us. Young people are saying that they're unable to watch these sessions live because their signal strength isn't strong enough, but they're able to watch them when they're posted afterwards, which is something to consider as well. So I think that there's a term for it. Oh, hold on a second. Wi-Fi stalking is the worst. Oh, I don't know what that means. Wi-Fi stalking. What's Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi working, not... Oh, no, Wi-Fi. Oh, that's what it means. It's a typo. Wi-Fi working, not stalking. Okay, Wi-Fi... Yeah, Wi-Fi not working. Yes, is the worst. Absolutely, yeah. It can be incredibly frustrating, can't it? But there's also... Some people don't have access to these things either. So lots of people don't have access to... the right type of equipment to access this kind of stuff. The bit digital poverty at play there, perhaps. Thankfully, not with us, but here. But that's an element to consider. That's the one, Will. She says, yeah, it is the one. Okay, so so what next? That was my next question. So what next? How do we see post-lockdown all this digital stuff carrying on? Do you think it would be good? Is it going to be a good thing that people are still engaged in these digital things? Should these sessions still continue digitally, or should we just revert back to fully being in youth centres and out in the community and out in the streets? What are your thoughts? So yeah, in fact, let's go stage by stage. Let's look at it from youth work and youth services. Does it work in this online setting? Would you like to see it continue? So what next after lockdown? Should digital forms of youth work like this continue? There's one. Give us your thoughts on that. Also, what about schools? I know schools have done a lot of online services throughout this lockdown. Of course, they've had to. Do you think that that's something that they could do moving forward? More online stuff. So more online learning, more blended learning. I know lots of universities. So those of you, the older ones in the group, who are thinking about moving on to university, and who are moving on to university in September, that might be the picture of what education looks like for you. This blended learning, a little bit in classrooms when campuses are able to accommodate you, and probably a lot of online tutorials similar to this and Zoom meetings and what have you. Is this a good thing? Are we going to be? Is this moving with the times, or is this compromising? That's a question, isn't it? Here's a question for you. Put that out there. Sarah says, some of it is brilliant. Lots of people who get out whatever reason they love this online community. Oh yeah, that's it. Well, good comment there, Sarah. Some of it is brilliant. Lots of people who can't get out for whatever reason love this online community stuff. Yeah, absolutely. It's been of massive benefit to lots of people. Excuse me. Both digital and club-based are good. Digital, this is Ali now. Digital for people who can't make it to the clubs. Well, yeah, we know the landscape in Denbighshire. It's an odd county, Denbighshire, isn't it? If you ever thought, no, actually, Denbishire's a brilliant county. I meant odd geographically in shape because it's like a long, long county. Those of you who work with us in the youth council, because you'll know you move around the county quite a lot with us, and from end to end, it's like an hour and a half drive, isn't it? And we have 8 youth clubs situated going up the county ordinarily, but vast gaps in between, so the rural areas. So yeah, lots of people are unable to make those distances. So if you're a young person and you want to get from, let's say, for example, Llangollen to Denby, well, it's a heck of a trek, isn't it? So yeah, good to have a blended approach, perhaps, when all this is over. Of course, that's what we're talking about. Gemma, it works and continue the sessions, but I'd miss the youth meetings in person if they were only in line. Yeah, so would I, to be honest with you. And I don't think anybody is, from a youth work or a youth service perspective, is talking about scrapping the face-to-face. The face-to-face is what we do. It's our thing. But I'm just wondering if there's a flavour for people now having found and engaged with these digital services, whether there's an appetite to have them blended, like that it's a good thing to have a bit of both, or no, we just want the face-to-face. That was the question, really. What will it look like post-lockdown for us as a service and young people moving forward? That was the question. Kelly, yeah, should continue, but can't beat face-to-face work. No, you absolutely can't. And I agree, says Kelly, says Ali. Right, okay. So yeah, that was the topic on that one. It was digital stuff. I've got another topic for you, so we'll move on now. Thanks for everybody who contributed there. If you have any other thoughts on this or any questions, or you want to discuss this further, you know exactly how to do it, you can contact me directly or any of the Denbighshire Youth Service team at DCC Youth Service. If you go onto our Facebook, Twitter, and all those other social medias, what will you see? You will see all of the staff pictures and then their names and numbers and email addresses. You can contact them anytime. So if you want to continue these discussions with your youth worker outside of this platform, or something comes to you afterwards, oh, I should have asked that, then that's the way you do it. Right, we'll move on to the next topic now. School's back! So, you may have seen in the news, and I know we mentioned in the session the other day, but we kind of skipped over it, didn't we? That Kirsty Williams, who's the Welsh Minister for Education, that's what she looks like if you've never seen it before, had made an announcement that schools could potentially reopen at the end of June for a month. And I know this doesn't relate to a lot of my older ones here, because you know you're going to sixth form and universities and what have you, but I know a few of the younger ones on here this relates very heavily to. Now, she has talked about potentially going back to school on, you know, one day in smaller groups and third in the school and all this stuff. But we're not going to dwell on that. We're not going to dwell on any of the specifics that have been said. All I want to know in the discussion is really, really simple. Is it a good idea? And if so, why? And is it a bad idea? And if so, why? So if you start your comment with good because blah, 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 or bad because blah, 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 and I'll read them out and we'll start a discussion. Yeah, so as it stands, I know some schools in England had decided to go back, and I know some have decided not to reopen, and I know there's been a few rumblings on the news today about them potentially changing that system in England. Whether that's going to have an effect on Wales, we're yet to see, but as it currently stands, schools are making preparations to try and accommodate young people back in school at the end of June for a month, taking a week into what would ordinarily be the summer period, and then having a 2-week break in October is the current plan as it stands today. Today being the 9th of June, just to get that right. However, all I'm asking is, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Let's see what you guys have got to say. So Gemma says, bad, because it's only for a month. So what's the point? But it wouldn't affect me because I'm going to sixth form. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't affect you, but if you think it's a bad idea because it's only for a month, okay. Sarah says, good. I like, you guys, you know, I like this. You know, I like a balanced argument. Good idea to get some normality. Oh, new normal. We talked about that. Well done, Sarah. Good idea because it gets some normality. But I totally understand people's worries about it. Well, okay, well, I'm not shelving worries. We're going to put that to one side for a second, but I like that, Sarah. Kelly, good, because young people have only the news today. I'm sure. What? Oh, sorry. Oh, I missed your comment then because it skipped that. Try again, Kelly. Good, because young people are sort of. Right, okay, I understand what you mean now. Good, because young people have some sort of idea, like ready to adjust of how it will be in September. Got your point there. That's a good point, Kelly. Alison says, I think they've said that they're not going back in England now. Yeah, I think that's what they've said as well. But in Wales, as it currently stands today, the people are preparing to go back. Now, that may be affected, but that's why I was keen to find out what young people think. Whether they think it's a good idea, or whether they think it's a bad idea. Bear with me a second. Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back in the house. So, where are we? Joe says, good, because all the young people will be able to get back to some kind of structure and normality. Bad. Oh, she's balanced her own argument. Bad, because COVID is still a big worry. It is a big worry, but I'm sure that the schools will only open if it's safe to do so, and they'll put all the precautions in place to make sure that it is safe. I know there's a lot of concerns at the moment whether schools are going to be able to handle those volumes, but I'm absolutely convinced that the schools wouldn't do anything that would put anybody's life at harm. I mean, they're in the business of not harming people, right? But we're yet to see. We're yet to see. I'm just at the moment finding out what our thoughts are, whether we thought that Kirsty Williams' announcement was a good thing or a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to get at the moment. Alison, I think it's a bad idea. Hey, Alison, you just said you thought it was a good idea. Oh, no, you didn't. Sorry, it was somebody else. I think it's a bad idea. We don't know how things are going to go with COVID, and don't feel that schools should go back until things are much clearer. Well, yeah, interesting. Bad, says another comment here, Charlotte. Bad because they will only have 3 weeks in school, and then they go back into a new school year after the summer holidays. Oh, again, who else? Oh, bad. Oh, another one says bad here. It's typical that people would say bad, isn't it? Bad without proper contact tracing in place. Oh, yeah, contact tracing. That's an interesting one to. Bad for the primary years, the younger ones. They will have to be quiet, confused, going back for a month, then having 6 weeks off again. Oh no, I'm not sure if they're having 6 weeks. I don't think that's the plan, is it? Bad for the oh yeah, of course it is with the summer, is it? Well, okay, I think we've talked this subject to death now as well, haven't we? What do we have after that? Just a picture of me. So, right. Once again, thank you all for taking part in these discussions. Really, really good to have those balanced arguments, the good and the bad and what have you. Thanks for taking part in the previous topic as well, the digital new normal and what have you. We are, I've got to tell you this. Thursday, we've got a really, really cracking show lined up on Thursday, or a session lined up on Thursday. We've got a member of the Fearless team, Fearless project team. Some of you may have heard of Fearless. There was a guy who used to go around the schools in Denbighshire, a Fearless project. It's connected to Crime Stoppers. Well, one of his colleagues is coming on to do a session on us about the project, about Fearless and about Crime Stoppers, but also to do a quiz on weird laws. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I've purposefully asked for her to not send me the questions before, so I can finally take part in a quiz. So that should be good. That's on Thursday. And of course, Cheryl's with us tomorrow with Wellbeing Wednesday. That's that. Other than that, oh, no, there's one more thing. There's always one more thing. Please keep sending me your ideas for topics to discuss. So we are going to continue doing these sessions on a Tuesday, these tea and chat. Oh, where's my tea? Oh, it's gone cold. I forgot about my tea. Always cold. We're going to continue doing these sessions on a Tuesday. I'm going to continue doing the sessions on a Thursday with guests and quizzes and instructors, beatbox and all that kind of thing on Thursday. And Cheryl's going to continue Wednesday. However, moving forward now, I should point out, we're going to be reducing the number of sessions and concentrating on efforts in different digital areas. So keep an eye out on Facebook and Twitter and stuff. I'll do a proper announcement tomorrow. But for those of you who are engaged now, we're going to be running on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday moving forward. So no Monday and Friday session anymore, okay? If you want to get in contact with any of your youth workers, there's still loads and loads of opportunities for you to do that. You can still, like I said to you earlier, at DCC Youth Service, all our contact information is there. You can contact me directly, contact any of the other team. And just to point out, by not doing the Monday and Friday session, we will be replacing that with more closed groups. So you're kind of video conferencing, small group stuff. So there'll be loads of opportunity for you to get involved in different things as well. Right. That's me done for this evening. Please keep sending me your stuff. I love seeing your stuff. Mia, if you bake anything else, send it to me. I'd love to see it. That goes for the rest of you as well. I will be back on Thursday, and I will see you then. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you for taking part.